and welcome to Super Kicking It with Kelsi. Today I'm going to talk about my thoughts on NXT Takeover Brooklyn 3. And of course, like usual, I kind of have an unpopular opinion, an opinion not of the norm of most people. And that is that the show was really good, and I enjoyed it, but it wasn't my favorite takeover ever, and I wasn't as blown away as many people seem to be online. So right after the show, I'm like, well, what do other people think about this? It was a good show, you know? Reading, some people were saying it's perfection, it's amazing, the best takeover, the best show of the year, one of the best shows of the year. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, it was good, but boy, I can think of a whole bunch of things in wrestling this year that I've liked better than that. And I hate to be on the fringes of everything, but I don't know. Once I was reading all those comments, I was like, I just don't agree. I'll admit I'm kind of a New Japan mark, and I'm a little spoiled because the finals of the G1 just happened last weekend, and they were insanely incredible. Now, I know it's not fair to compare because it's two very different styles of wrestling, and you can like both, or you could like one or the other because maybe one of the styles don't appeal to you. But to me, in terms of match quality, which everyone's raving about for NXT TakeOver, the match quality of New Japan was amazing for those G1 finals and semifinals. I mean, you have your Tanahashi Naito Omega, and then before Naito and Omega, obviously Omega and Okada 3, which was incredible. All those matches so well done. And I wasn't invested in this show as much as those. Also, touching on the fact that a lot of people think it's the best takeover ever, there's a lot of, not only NXT takeovers in general that I've liked better, but in particular, even NXT TakeOver Brooklyn's that I've liked better. Like the first one with the Sasha v. Bayley match. That was an amazing takeover. And my favorite takeover of all time is the Sami Zayn versus Nakamura match. That had such an emotional build and an emotional element into the match itself, and the whole show was so exciting. To me, I think it's one of the best takeovers ever. So this one I was like, yeah, it's great, but I just don't think it's to the level that everyone is saying. But then again, you know, everyone's entitled to their opinion, so if you think it's the greatest ever, more power to you. Just, it really wasn't my personal favorite. And another thing is, I am so torn on how to feel about the Adam Cole, Bobby Fish, and Kyle O'Reilly joining forces and almost being like a Ring of Honor faction kind of thing. It reminds me a lot of NWO coming into WCW and people not knowing, oh, are they really with WCW? Are they WWE invading WCW? And it's like, it's been done before. And not only that, they're relying on already built talents that they took from other promotions like Ring of Honor, specifically in this case, to be their next top stars. And I just don't agree with that. I'm not a fan of that. But having said that, it was fun to see Adam Cole come out and beat down Drew McIntyre. I mean, that was an awesome sight to behold. Him teaming up with Kyle O'Reilly and Bobby Fish. They just looked like such a dominant force, and they were so over with the crowd. Now, I do think a missed opportunity for an on-air little moment was him going to the top of the stage and saying, Adam Cole, baby. Which he did say it, and the crowd was so loud when they said it with him. But it was only shown on WWE.com as a WWE.com exclusive. Now, I think that was a missed opportunity because it's really fun to hear him say that, and a lot of people watching at home who might not have gone out and looked for that piece of footage would have missed out on it. And that's one of his, best parts about being an Adam Cole fan is saying that along with him. So I wish I would have heard that on air. But anyway, it was really fun to see how over he really is. Another match that I really loved from the night was Asuka versus Ember Moon. In fact, I would say that was my favorite match of the whole night. And it was fun to hear them actually reference my favorite wrestler, Suzuki, in the commentary, which I kind of marked out to hear. Yeah, she trained with Suzuki, that's what they said. And if you haven't checked out the Asuka versus Suzuki, they're both in tag teams. It's an intergender tag team match from Japan. You should totally check it out. It's super brutal. Suzuki kind of like stiffs Asuka quite a few times, but I read that Asuka booked that show and she totally was okay with him stiffing her. She might have even asked for that because she wanted to prove herself and she was the one booking the show. So find that match if you can. Just Google Suzuki versus Asuka and you'll probably be able to find it on YouTube. Overall, I do think NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 was a great, entertaining show. But would I put it among my favorite takeovers ever? It might be in the top 5, but it certainly isn't the top. Not even the top 3. So overall, it was definitely a fun watch. SummerSlam is not going to be able to beat it. I mean, I don't see how they'd have to pull out all the stops, and they kind of never do. And for WWE this year, NXT TakeOver Brooklyn 3 might be one of their best shows of the whole year. We'll just have to see what comes in the months to come. But so far, so good, and I enjoyed it, but I want to hear what you think. Leave your comments below, or find me on social media at SuperKicking It on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Thank you.